Cream.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good. I apologize if I keep looking up. You guys are all on a screen above me, so I'm not avoiding you.
I figured that a couple days ago, I started to notice all of you would always look up in the corner. I said they must have moved the screen or something.
Yeah. Well, you guys come in at the top of the screen, so.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. Well, just wanted to ask, first of all, about today's practice. Did you get a few folks back? Were you able to start kind of game planning a little bit more at this point of the week?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't spend a lot of time specifically on Vegas, but we were spending time on our stuff. We had a little bit more semblance of a full practice today, which was nice. We've had, some bumps and bruises, so we held some people out of parts of practice just to limit their minutes today. But in general, we were progressing through the week. The only one that's not practicing besides Elena is Sydney Weiss. I don't think Sydney's going to play this week. She probably, if she can stay on schedule, is good for sometime next week, maybe. But right now, we're just letting her ankle calm down.
That's what I was going to ask. What did the second, I guess the second opinion on the ankle say?
Well, I think they described it as a 3rd-degree sprain. She's had past damage in that ankle before, so it aggravates it more than anything. I mean, that same damage was there probably a year ago, and she's just, going to probably battle this, the rest of her career every time she turns it. But she feels, pretty good right now. Strength, we just want to make sure she's completely strong before we put her back out there.
Sounds good. And just one more. I wanted to ask a little bit specific about Vegas. Obviously, extremely talented roster, but they're playing pretty good defense these days. One of the best defensive teams in the year, and a lot of in the league in a lot of categories. Just what stands about them on that side of the floor?
Well, I mean, for one, they are healthy and they have size. They're number one in a lot of things at both ends of the floor. I mean, points in the paint, but their length. I mean, when you have Cambage and Asia Wilson and Hamby and Jisoo Park, that's a lot of length to deal with. They have an experienced point guard now in Chelsea Gray, which, that's length at point guard. I mean, they have size at, 3 or 4 positions throughout the game. So we're going to have to battle that. That jumps out to me the most. I mean, they score in the paint, they rebound the ball. They don't shoot a ton of threes, but, they're making the ones they shoot for the most part. And they get to the free throw line. I mean, you can't foul them and bail them out. It's hard enough physically, to play against them, but you can't give them extra chances at the free throw line too.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Tyler.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned last week that you almost wanted this week to maybe serve as a mini training camp, but with players that have been out, you said this was the first day you had pretty much everybody. Do you feel like you've been able to accomplish those goals to where you want to be here at the end of the week?
Not all of them, but we were able to break down a bunch of things, even in 3-on-3, 4-on-4, we were able to do some of those things, just to fine tune, screening angles and pick and roll coverage, communication on the defensive end, making sure we're in the right coverages, worked on our spacing on the floor. So, we got an opportunity to do that. You just didn't have everybody on the floor at the same time doing it. So, but I think it was helpful.
And then overall, where do you think the chemistry is for the group, especially some of the people that came in late?
Still a work in progress. I mean, I think that, there's natural, they have good chemistry as far as liking each other and, those things. If it's just familiarity on the court, it's not going to be there for a while. Still, like I said, talking on pick and rolls and make sure we're in the right coverage. Some of them, for some of the younger players or backup players, some of them, it's a more being demonstratively verbal. I mean, each game is going to have more fans. It's going to be louder. And so, the gym voice is not the same as the arena voice. And so we're trying to, get that going right now as much as anything.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jen,
Hey, Coach. Just to start with Tina's calf, do you expect her to be 100% for Saturday?
I don't know if she'll be 100%. I mean, she's expecting to play. You know, it's been aggravated every time she gets hit there. You know, it's pretty sore. But you know, she's tried to play through it. She did a lot of practice today, but we'll see.
And have you been able to get her more reps this week with Maisha, or has the calf kind of disrupted that?
That's kind of disrupted it. They got some earlier in the week, the one day a little bit when she was feeling pretty good. And then, you know, we took yesterday off. We just had people in the shoot today. You know, they got more reps together. That helps. I think that helped a lot today.
And then, you know, you've talked a lot about breaking down offense and defense into smaller pieces. What is your vision for, you know, how things will look differently on Saturday now that you've been able to do that kind of fine tuning?
I hope, my hope is that our team has a better understanding of spacing, especially against teams that are so big like they are, that, you know, we have to kind of play to our advantage. We're not going to win the height and physical war necessarily against them, but there's things that we have that will be tough for them to defend. And so we have to, you know, make sure that that's understood what our advantages are. And so the biggest thing, you know, is on a game by game basis, understanding what works against one opponent maybe have to be tweaked a little bit against the next opponent based on, you know, how they guard pick and rolls or how they guard post ups. And so for us, you know, for the last couple of years, the way we built our team, we can't crowd the floor. We can't allow people to just guard us by crowding the paint. We have to draw defenders out of the paint, give ourselves some space to operate in.
Thank you.
Casey,
Excuse me. Casey, you're muted.
Okay. Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, great. So with the new month starting, what's the overall vibe in the locker room and with the team?
I mean, the vibe is good. I mean, you know, when you're 2-4, nobody's happy about being 2-4. But I think that they know that they're improving. You know, even when we walked out of the Connecticut game, I said it to you guys that I felt like we made improvement in that game. And, you know, you don't like losing, but what you want to see is your team getting better every day. You know, we've talked about winning each day by coming out of the gym better at the end of the day than when we walked in. So I think that vibe is very good. They're understanding that, you know, you got to take criticism, you know, from each other, not just from coaches, but you have to be able to, you know, talk things out, you know, get on each other for the right things. You know, hey, you missed a blackout, or you need to call, you need to be louder so I can hear you. Those kinds of things. And those are part of building chemistry that, you know, I think the vibe is good. But we're just, you know, we have a tough schedule and we've having injuries and we just got to fight through it.
Thank you.
Christy,
Hey there, Coach. Sorry, I'm under a dryer, so hopefully you can hear me well. Bree graduates tomorrow. Anyway, with the wearing of the orange this weekend, discuss what went into that decision with the league. And
I don't have any idea.
okay, about that. Okay. And with Natasha Cloud being kind of in the forefront of that conversation with wearing the orange, what will the team be doing to accommodate that initiative on Saturday?
I don't know other than wearing the orange. Literally, you guys are asking me questions that I don't deal with on a day-to-day basis. We handle our own discussions. I mean, I literally didn't know we were doing the Orange Day until a couple days ago. So
Understood.
I'm
Okay.
coaching my team and like figuring it out.
Understood. Just one tactical question, just about the size, and you alluded to that with Las Vegas. How do you, I know that there have been games in the past where you've had tremendous success with spreading the offense. Is that going to be one of the top keys for Saturday's game against Las Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're a team. I mean, when we played them in the playoffs in 2019, we weren't going to get any bigger during that series, and we were fairly big. You know, we had Latoya and Emma and Elena, you know, all playing, but they just are big, and so we gained our advantage by spreading them out, making, you know, Cambage and Asia Wilson have to guard people out away from their comfort zone in front of the basket. And so that's not changed for us. We haven't gotten any more huge since then. So that's, you know, I mean, we have a great post-up player in Tina, but that can't be our whole offense against them.
Thank you.
Casey, did you have another question? No,
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay,
and that's it, Coach. Thank you.
you bet. Thanks.
Thank you.
You can, if you want.
Hey, what's up, Tina? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Let's first ask about that calf. How you feeling?
Feeling fine. Feeling good. I didn't know it was out there, but doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I think Mike ratted you out like earlier in the week or something like that. But
Yeah.
you- are you moving around well? You know, like how bothersome is it?
Everything's fine. I'm gonna leave that to Mike. I don't talk my business. Everything's fine.
Okay, cool. Well, I wanted to ask about the upcoming game a little bit. You know, Ace is pretty good defensively, a lot of length. I'm sure you're going to be matched up with Liz quite a bit. Just curious, you know, what stands out to them when you're looking at them on the defensive end?
You know, they're long, they're big. You know, I played for Bill myself, so I know they're gonna like to wall up, jam up the paint. But it's the most I can say. You know, the way you started saying that I have to guard her, she has to guard me. So I'm not really concerned about Liz that much, to be honest.
Cool. And I do have one more kind of random question. You know, what have you noticed about Alicia on the team so far? You know, obviously she hasn't been, you know, obviously she's out not being able to play, but I know she's still a leader, still pretty heavily engaged. I'm just curious what stood out about her that you've noticed since she's been here and since y'all guys been practicing.
She's been huge. She's been huge. Just her presence, just her voice. You know, you definitely know where she came from with a stellar organization with Seattle. Being around Sue, soaking up everything, being around Tanisha Wright. I played with Tanisha, so there's a lot that I see in Alicia that I was around and witnessed through Tanisha and the impact she had on me, just holding everyone accountable, like making sure that everyone is a star within their role. And it doesn't matter who it is from top to bottom, coaches, management, like it doesn't matter. She wants to make sure that we're all supposed to be doing what we have to in order to get wins and in order to keep progressing as players, and not only as players, but as people as well. So it's really great to have someone like her who's won championships, who's been where I'm trying to get to. So it's been really, really great for us.
Quick and easy. Thank you.
No problem. She got it
Jen?
by me, you know what I'm saying? Shoot.
Hey Tina, how's it going? Don't run away from me.
Sorry?
Just wanted to ask, you know, where, I know you haven't maybe practiced the whole time and whatnot.
I did, or
Sorry?
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, that's great.
Great. I was just gonna ask, you know, I know that you haven't maybe been on the court the whole time, but from what you've seen, both when you have been practicing and when you've been on the side, you know, where have you seen the team get better this week, and how do you think that's going to look differently on Saturday?
Just communication wise, just us speaking to one another, getting better on the defensive end, holding one another accountable, just executing the things that Coach T needs us to do in order for us to be successful with this specific group that we have. You know, we don't make excuses for the players that are out. We're all pros. We all got drafted the same way how the other ones that are out that we know is a big lift for us, but it's taking it one day at a time.
Gotcha. And then one more kind of random one from me, but a big day for Tosh with her shoe coming out today. Just curious if you guys have talked about that at all, or if you've seen it and have thoughts.
No, I had no clue about that. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing for someone to have a signature shoe. I mean, that's a blessing, you know. I'm super happy for her, but I had no clue about that. But that's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tyler?
Hi, Tina. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Naomi Osaka's in the news the past week and some of the conversations around mental health and mental health of athletes. But I'm curious if you have any thoughts on what she said and how athletes are treated in regards to mental health from your perspective, and then maybe some of the mental health obstacles you have to deal with as an athlete throughout your competitive season.
I mean, I applaud her. I think you always have to take care of yourself first. You always have to take care of home first, and that's exactly what she did. You know, I haven't been through anything that she's been through or others when it comes to mental health, but I always support those who take care of themselves home first and know that they have to keep themselves as a priority and everything else second. You know, there's no way you can go out and play and do if you don't take care of your mental and what you need. So I'm happy that she made herself a priority and took that step. And I'm pretty sure other athletes in similar situations or not will continue to do the same thing and put themselves first and advocate for what they need first.
And then are you, I know this may be a personal question, but are there any mental health obstacles that you face as an athlete?
No, I literally just said I haven't,
Okay.
been through what she's been through or experienced or other players with mental health. So I applaud those who put themselves first and take care of home and set the examples for those along the way. You know, just because I haven't up to this point in my career doesn't mean I won't, but seeing how those before me, your DeMar DeRozan's, your LaMarcus Aldridge spoke out the other day, Kevin Love, and now Naomi Osaka, and you could say Elizabeth Cambage. There's who else in our league? She went to UConn, the shooter. She's at Seattle, but there's so many players that have came out about mental health awareness. So I definitely take note into that.
Thank you, Tina.
Natalie?
I was just wondering, has this, I was just wondering if this week without games has given you all an opportunity to bond more off the court, and what you've been doing kind of for fun and just to relax in this extra downtime you have.
Yeah, I think it's allowed us to rest. You know, there's been people with nagging injuries, so it allowed people to rest and just focus on that. And Coach C is always the players coach. You know, so he knows when it's time for us to take some days away from the game. So it's been cool to have that time. But yeah, definitely every day we get closer in the locker room and moving around within the facility.
Christy?
Hey, Tina. Sorry, just real quick. With the USA basketball on the horizon, I know that you're focused on the task at hand, which is the game on Saturday. But with USA basketball on the horizon, what does that look like in terms of your time frame and moving forward to that possibility for you?
You really under the dryer right now, yo.
I know my daughter graduates high school tomorrow, and this is the only time I could get in.
That's crazy. But your question with USA basketball, you were saying
The
sorry.
timetable of what that looks like for you. Like what are they saying in terms of when you would have to be with them and how much time you would miss, if you miss any time at all with the team, with the Mystics?
For me personally, I'm very humble. I'm still waiting to know. The team hasn't been announced, so I'm not really sure how I can answer that question. So literally, my focus is just being with the Washington Mystics because I don't have any news when it comes to USA basketball right now. So yeah, I haven't.
Understood. And just one quick key with Saturday's game. What is the one thing that the team needs to do well to get a win?
The one key thing for us to get a win, it would be to control the things that we can control, the way that we come out, how we execute, how this organization has been known to space the floor and just make it really hard for teams to guard the Mystics. Being in tune with our process, what it takes to win, communication on defense. We've always came up close to teams that we can beat. We've been getting better each and every single time that we take the floor and there's close games. So we just gotta close out games. But it's definitely just control the things that we can control, how we come out, especially when it comes to the third quarters. I think third quarters we've been having some lulls, and that's been definitely hitting us hard, and hard to come out from above that.
Thank you so much.
Have a great graduation.
Thank you.
Congrats to you and your family.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that's it, Tina. Thank you.
All right, guys. Remember, Kareem, she has to guard me, okay?